why is HR's moment now? Why should we be leaning into our talent acquisition, our HR tech, and our talent development and management programs even more? And more importantly, how can we as leaders, HR tech professionals, TA professionals and leaders, how can we start rebuilding? Hopefully this isn't just a blip, that we're seeing a couple months of a rebound and things will be getting back to some relative state of normal at some point, right? So how can we all equip ourselves to get ready for this rebound? So I'm going to toss it over first to William and to Joe, and certainly for anyone who wants to chime in, by all means, would love to hear from you. So Tin Cup, you want to start us off?
Sure. I think one of the things before, as a kind of a preamble, is recognizing that everyone's going through something different. I would say that we're all going through kind of our own version of trauma of 2020. So, and that'll have some kind of lasting effects and ripples. So one of the things that I think is important for all three of us is that this isn't preachy and like you should be doing this or you shouldn't be doing that. It's not that. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There can be no guilt or shame if you're in a situation where you can't innovate because you're just trying to tread water. First of all, that's great. Don't feel no shame, feel no guilt. You're going through trauma. Your organization's going through trauma. You're going through trauma. We're all going through our own versions of trauma. So with that caveat, and that is a kind of a backstop, so that no one gets off of this or gets away from the round table feeling like I was just shamed. I went to a round table and I was shamed. There's no intent of that. I think the moment in being now is that the organization desperately needs you. It's always needed you. In December of 19, it needed you just as much. But I think it's recognized, organizations have recognized that they need HR and talent acquisition leadership. They need that communication and they need innovation to come from you. And they need it now. They needed it before. Like, let's no mistake. They needed it before. They just didn't know how much they needed it. And now, because so much has been peeled away, um, it's painfully obvious to executives and to the organization itself how much they need HR and how much they need talent acquisition leadership. With that, I'll pass it over to Joe.
Thanks, Tin Cup. Appreciate that. I think you bring up a really good point about people and how essential we all are to the companies that we're a member of. And what's been really interesting to see across the industry and with the different companies we work with is that HR and talent acquisition has gained a more important role because the people that we all rely on are no longer in front of us. And the glue that we all are in terms of being in HR and either advancing talent in your organization or bringing new talent in has become more valuable and absolutely necessary for our organizations because we no longer have that in-person crutch to rely on. And I think it took that change in workplace where we're now working from anywhere for different business units to understand how important their talent really was, because that engagement in person is no longer there to rely on. And as a result, as a part of an organization, our voice is being heard a lot more, and it's being encouraged to use technology to help us do our jobs better. So digital transformations that have been accelerated due to everything that's going on, almost all of them are about getting our work done more efficiently in a more collaborative way, but not in person. And I think that all falls on our plate as members of the HR community to be able to step up and inform our companies what investments make sense and how we can change the culture of a company to accommodate a much more inclusive and diverse workforce because we're forced to change and adapt the way that we're all working.